Hi everyone, and welcome to a very special edition of the Kathy and Kevin Show. We can't come into the hospital right now, and I'm sure you miss coming to school just as much as we miss seeing all of you. But just because school is closed doesn't mean that we still can't teach you. So I thought I'd show you a little adventure that I had, and maybe you'll learn something new. So right now you might be wondering, what is a salamander? Salamanders are amphibians, so like frogs, they live in cool or damp places or in and around water. They look a lot like lizards, so they have thin bodies with long tails, 4 legs, and usually they have smooth, moist skin. So we were on the hunt for all different kinds of salamanders, but the one we wanted to see the most was the California giant salamander. Seeing the adults is pretty rare, but supposedly it's easy to find the babies living in the creeks and ponds in the coastal redwood forests. So we headed up into the Santa Cruz Mountains to see what we could find. Hi everyone! This is Jack, Joe, and Megan, and we are going out and seeing if we can find some salamanders.
Yeah, hopefully. There are a lot of different species around here, so we're gonna walk around and look. Everything's wet, so hopefully things will be out and about, and we're gonna find some good habitat and hopefully show you some cool stuff.
The forest itself is an amazing place. We found lots of mosses, flowers, ferns, and fungi.
These are turkey tails, a type of mushroom.
There's a little teeny tiny slug there. Yeah. It's not a banana slug.
Ooh, then we don't care.
Yeah, those turkey tails are really pretty.
Yeah, it's amazing how dense they are. And these ones aren't very colorful relative. I mean, those are also turkey tail on that one. They're just a little bit older. Awesome looking, right? So many layers.
So one of the best places to find cool things in the forest is in the duff, which is decaying vegetation that covers the ground, or under things like logs or rocks.
Beetle.
Beetles.
That's it.
Wow, look at that little plant moving.
Teeny tiny millipede.
Oh.
Another one.
Oh wow, that plant
Another
is
one.
moving. What?
Which one?
This one was stuck and now it's like,
Uh-oh.
I can reach. Reach for the light.
What's all that white gunk? Just like roots
It's
from the...
fungus
Yeah.
from
Probably
this stuff. Look at
fungus,
these
yeah.
little beads on this.
Aw.
Oh, that's beautiful.
What are the little beads?
Whew.
These little like ambery water droplets.
They're coming off the fungus.
I don't know.
What's
It's probably
that?
just water. I don't know.
We found 2 different species of millipedes underneath the logs we flipped over, like this bright yellow one and this teeny tiny brown one. Just look at all those legs. And we had to be really careful walking in the forest because all kinds of things are on the path, like this banana slug. Here's another guy we found, and looking at him, you can easily see why they're called banana slugs. The bright yellow is easy to see in the forest, which is a good thing because not everything is that easy to spot.
Rough skin newt. Now don't touch that and then rub your eyeballs and don't lick it or kiss it because those ones have toxins in their skin.
And some rough-skinned newts are so toxic they can kill a human if you eat them. That's why it's important that you don't pick up, touch, eat, or lick anything you find in nature unless you know what you're doing. Not every log we looked under had something.
Oh, there's something flashing around down here. I saw a tail. Nope.
And other times, you get lucky.
We might be able to move some of that duff off of its head. And Satina. So this one mimics the other one. You can catch this one. It won't, oh,
What?
maybe not.
No, you don't.
Just put your hand in front of it and it'll crawl
It
up
wiggles.
onto you. There you go. I'm
Ah.
gonna put this log back down.
Look how closely he resembles the rough-skinned newt. He's trying to make predators think he's just as toxic so that they won't eat him. But he's actually totally harmless. I think he kind of likes me. After a few hours of looking around, we still haven't found our California giant salamander. So deeper into the forest we went. Found our first giant salamander.
What?
There's just a really thick piece of wood falling around.
Okay, so he's right. I'll point to where he is with the stick. He's right there. Do you see its little triangularly shaped head?
Yes, I
And this right next to it actually is a bug larva.
Oh,
That thing. But do you see him?
I do. I don't know.
It does have external gills also, which you can see.
Do you see its gills?
Yeah, they're out, but it's a pretty tiny one, but it's a good view of it nonetheless.
Oh.
Yeah. Where is it? Pretty hard to see. It's right here. You see its head right there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and then
Oh,
you
yeah.
can see its gills right there, right behind the head.
Yeah.
I haven't seen any other ones, but
Usually where there's one.
yeah, there's a lot of stuff in this pool, so it's kind of hard to see
Yeah.
them.
I
Yeah.
saw one when I was coming down this trail.
Yeah.
These are very small pools.
That's true.
And the reason they stay in the pools is because everything else dries up later in the year. But,
Yeah.
so what you're really looking for,
Is the head.
I think, is the head shape.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a little blocky rectangle, and you'll often see them just sticking their heads out from underneath rocks.
Yeah.
So you like scan the edge of a rock that has a little overhang, and you'll just see the head sticking out, and you're like, whoa, you are just peeking at me. The same species that gets to be like 14 inches long.
For real. Oh, I
Yeah.
lost him. Oh, he's over there now. I forget that these are fast. Ooh, just crawled into death. I also can't really see because the glare. Oh, there he is. I'm hunting you.
There it is.
Yeah.
Ooh, escapee.
I don't know why I'm doing this with one hand.
That'd be probably easier with two. Oh, there he is. He's right there.
He's a
Right under my
slippery
finger,
boy.
right here, right?
Right under the
Right there.
rock.
Oh, I see it. Wait, I think it's still escaped. Oh, he's
It's
right
right
here.
There it is. You got it.
No, I lost him.
I saw it
I'm
in your
so bad
hands.
at this. He is a slippery little rascal.
There it is.
Oh,
right
there he
there,
is.
right there, right there. Oh. There it is. Oh, swimming away. It's right there.
Why am I so bad at
Next
this?
to the stick.
Oh, I
Oh,
see
there
him.
he is.
Okay.
Oh, he's still there.
Wow, I'm so pathetic.
We believe in you. Wow. He is just really giving you the runaround.
Where is he now?
Alright.
Oh, wow. Joe, do you want to come do this?
I'm afraid we might have to downgrade you from Queen of the Salamanders to a Princess of the Salamanders.
Oh, you got him.
Oh! Alright, you're back to
Okay.
Queen of the Salamanders.
They look great if you can keep water in there, yeah. And I think 2 hands is the way to go.
You see the gills?
So this is a baby coastal giant salamander, and they can grow to be maybe 14 inches as an adult, and they're remarkably beefy. So this is obviously just a little baby, and you can tell it's a baby. So the babies are pretty much fully aquatic. They breathe through external gills, which you can kind of see them. You can kind of see them at the back of the head. And when they're adults, they lose the external gills and they transition to more of a terrestrial lifestyle. And they eat banana slugs, if you can believe it, as adults. So pretty neat little things.
All right, we're giant salamander hunting. It is
Midnight.
around midnight up in the redwoods. It's hard to see anything, but this is the best time of day to look for giant salamanders. So let's see what we can find.
He could be anywhere by now.
Ah, he's been waiting for us. When did you guys find him?
A couple weeks ago,
Oh, alright, yeah.
a month ago maybe.
He's probably cleared up. Yeah.
We didn't find any adults in the duff, so we headed down to Peterson Creek to see if we can find any juvenile salamanders. And there were a lot.
I don't know if you'll really be able to. My light is on it. I don't know if she can see it from her angle. What
I do see this one right here. And then there's the one
Do
there.
you see where my finger shadow is now, Kathy? Right here.
Your finger.
Oh, I see it on the
Right there.
branches. It's not on the bottom.
Oh, right here, like
Yeah,
right
right
by me.
underneath you. No, not that one.
There's one right, literally.
I
well,
see
yeah, I
that
see
one.
that one
Yeah.
now.
There's one here.
Oh, there's
too.
one right there too. Oh my God, they're
Yeah.
everywhere.
They truly are. Once you get
Once
the
you
search
see what they look like. This guy's up off the water again too, floating on this little, or off the ground, floating on that little tree branch. Yeah.
This is our spot.
Yeah.
This is awesome.
Yeah. This is like where
We always come and we
where we
always
take
check
people.
on them.
to
We
find
always
the
see 'em.
salamanders. Yeah, there's typically at least one.
Little baby giants.
Yeah.
How well do you think you can do spotting giant salamanders? Try now and see if you can find the baby giant salamander in this picture. Need some help? Here it is. They're pretty well camouflaged, don't you think? We also checked inside a drainage tunnel.
I could find it up there. Wait,
I mean, there's a bunch in there. I'm not seeing any. Oh, there's 4 right here.
Where?
They're really tiny.
Oh yeah, there's a little black.
One here,
Yeah.
one here. That guy just swimming.
Yeah.
One there.
I don't know if these shoes are waterproof. I'm pretty sure they're not. But I
Yeah,
guess
I mean, I think it's more impressive over there
Yeah.
where there's 5 all in a row.
let's see if we can hear the children.
Just turn off all your lights.
See, that's the end of the culvert, Kathy.
Oh wow.
It's right there. So it's not big.
I don't think so.
What?
Turn off your light.
After checking out the giant salamanders and scaring each other just a bit, we headed back out of the creek bed to look for other species. We found one ensatina hiding under an overturned log, and a couple others in the woodpile.
All right, we'll name one Flip and the other Flop.
I love it. Where are they? Hi, Flip. There's Flip. And there's Flop.
What are these ones called?
Ensatina.
That's the genus name.
Yeah.
After finding 3 different salamander species, the rough-skinned newt, the ensatina, and the California giant salamander, we were excited to find our 4th. This one looked a lot like a little worm or a snake, but in fact it's a tiny salamander. Look at his little face.
California slender salamander.
This one's pretty colorful.
Yeah, they are tiny, worm-like. They have very teeny tiny legs. You can
Yeah,
maybe
that's his
see
little
them.
leg back there.
Yeah, the back leg.
See
yeah,
that?
you can see it.
Yeah.
So small.
Tiny little legs, and they basically live.
Underground.
Yeah, they
In
spend
the depth.
most of their time kind of underground, buried in the wood. You know, the leaf
The
litter,
death stuff.
and
Duff.
in the duff.
In the depth.
And they are really.
They're tiny.
They're kind of cool. This one's actually, it seems like it's lost its tail at some point.
How do you know?
Oh, it's kind of cut. Oop.
He's curling up.
It's a defensive posturing.
Slender salamanders curl up into a little ball to hide from predators, but once they start feeling more comfortable, they're actually really curious.
They're cold-blooded. They don't really have great energy stores.
Yeah.
And this is just kind of like it's a hider, right? It's not a run and hide
Yeah.
species. Amazing watching them walk with those tiny legs. It's like, you do better just slithering, I think.
He's gonna go up my sleeve. It's easy to see why he's called a slender salamander. Do you remember the names of the different species we found today? Let's see if you can identify them. I hope you had as much fun watching as I did tromping through the forest hunting for salamanders. We'll see you next time.